want to talk about the anger intervention that happened at lunch in Mexico. Seeing how it all unfolded.
Hey guys, I'm here. I'm so sorry. I'm reading your comments. I'm going to her Instagram to see if she said anything. I don't know what happened. 1 minute I'm heating up pizza. The next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock. I don't know where the time went. I'm sorry. I'm actually still watching the episode. Oh, what's up, you guys? Thank you all for being here and ready. What's up, Langston? Thank you, Alicia. What's up, Marianne? Hey, guys, make sure you give your girl some likes. Still wrapping it up. I was like, what time is it? It's so weird because it's still so early over here for me.
You know, it's kind of ironic how the season ended, given how great pals you and Dorinda were. It was a comment you made at Drag Queen Bingo that really set Dorinda off. What was going through your mind with it?
Dorinda and Leah got beef now? Where have I been?
I was kind of shocked.
I did not know that Dorinda and Leah had beef.
Give them props and tell them that, you know, I love them and appreciated them and had a great time with them. But obviously that word Tinsley just set it off. But we did talk. I mean, Dorinda called me the next morning and was very upset and apologized to me.
Why did the mere mention of Tinsley's name?
Well, I think that it wasn't authentic.
What is going on with my neck? Hey, what's up, Dee? What is Dorinda's problem with Tinsley? We got to talk about that. I've told you all how I felt about it, but I just, there has to be something deeper going on.
An important person to me in terms of you guys, too.
Yeah, and that's why I called you the next morning.
Right.
Henry from Athens, Georgia said, Dorinda,
can I just say that all of these questions are Andy? Please.
I'm begging you to hear this. It's okay to admit that you're wrong sometimes.
Oh.
Looking back at this season, can you give any examples of times?
Do you guys think that Dorinda is holding back something else? Because she said that she was going through a lot this season. No duh, right? We all saw that, right? But when she started mentioning the issues that she had, I was just like, Bluestone Manor made you attack everybody like this season? Something else is going on. I understand the 7-year ending of her relationship with John. I get that, but I feel like there's something else. Not your house flooding and you breaking up with John. That the way she acted this season, there had to be something more going on that we just don't know, which is probably why she left the show.
I think the way for Ramona and I to go forward, if we want to continue our friendship, is to just not rehash it and try to.
Dorinda doesn't know how to apologize. Like they go through this every season. Hey, Jay Nice. What's up, Virginia? Yes, you did, Unity. You made a live. Whoa, Marianne, where did you hear that? Hey, Tammy. Yeah, she does. Dorinda does not like to be criticized at all. What's up, Langston? What's up, Shanna? Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm trying. Somebody asked me if I'm losing weight, and to be honest with you, yes, but it's everything that's happening. I'm going to start working on like getting my body healthy, but I've just been. This whole season has just really stressed me out. I've been up and down so many times. So the reason why I haven't talked about it is because it's just like, this is not I don't want to lose weight like this. I don't want to be stressed out and lose weight. I want to be happy, and lose weight, not, depressed. All right, I'm coming to the end of it and we can get into it.
12 reunion.
This is the wrap up.
Recently. Looking back, which moment from this season would you like to socially distance yourself from? And which other housewife
can you guys hear this? I hope you can hear it. Usually probably gonna take this video down. Oh well, we're having fun. It's late. We're grown.
Leah, when I said something about.
Oh, thank you, Chef. Hey, Libra Soul. Thank you, Jay Nice.
I can't wait to
That's nice.
Thank God we got here.
So it seems like everybody's just making up at towards the end, like they always do, and doing a toast and everything.
Doctor.
Thank you for editing.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's just making up. So I'm gonna stop it right there. Sorry, you guys. I'm telling you, like after I got off live from doing the batch chat. Thank you all who joined me on batch chat. After I finished that live, I had some auditions that I had to do, some deadlines. Took care of that. Went and got something to eat, and the next thing you know, it's 10 o'clock. I'm sorry. Oh, you think she's going through menopause, Marianne? Oh, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with her because I was waiting for this reunion for her to mention what it was that had her like this, because we know that we get gangsta Dorinda, you know what I mean, when she starts her drinking, but she was flying off the handle a lot this season, and now she's not returning. Something is up, and you know, we're just not gonna know. They're just, oh my goodness, my seat cushion. It has like a cooling thing on it, but it's like sticking to me because it's hot in here. I'm probably gonna put on the air, but you know, I gotta conserve. Yeah, they're always too drunk. I will say this: watching this reunion, I know that they're gonna do a shakeup with the cast, and I think Marianne said that Leah's not coming back, but I think if Leah, you know, is the center of the show, like they said, like the rumor is that they are creating doing a new New York, and it's all going to be around Leah and her diverse friends. My only issue is that I don't think that Leah knows a lot of like wealthy 1%, you know, upper crust New York people. So I'm thinking that they're going to have to, you know, probably find a lot of people that she's not really like good friends with, but that she knows about, like how Bethany recommended Leah. And like how Leah and Tinsley knew each other, but didn't really know each other. But they acted like they knew each other on the show, and that's what pissed Dorinda off. So I'm thinking they're going to do that because Leah's community is not, you know, they're not struggling, but in the compass of New York, you know, they're not, you know, up there. You know what I mean? They're not they're not old money. You know what I mean? They're very new, self-made people, and I love that because that's a lot of New York. But this show is about wealthy women all across the United States. So I don't know how we're going to get where we are at now with this cast, with Leah and the new girls. Either way, I'm interested. I do want to check it out, but I do feel bad because I think this cast is a good cast. Give or take a few people, but this is a good cast. Like I was just watching this and I was like, if they go a new way, I am going to miss Sonia. I think she's good TV. Ramona, not so much, but I like the Countess. I don't know. It's unfortunate if they do switch it up. I hope that they keep these women. Like I said before, I hope that they do a like super season with, you know, famous housewives, and just, I think Bravo really needs to cash in on the OGs and do like an OG summer house. That would be so smart, to send the OGs on vacation together and just see what comes out of it. I would love that. Sonia, Vicky Gunvalson, Nene, Bethany. If you can't get Bethany, I'll take Jill, because I don't think Bethany and Jill will be on the same show together again. But yeah, like who else do you guys think should be in like this super season summer house kind of show? I think they shouldn't waste that talent. Those women are good, and if they can't service the show anymore, put them on something new. Yes, she seemed really unhinged. She did not seem like herself. Maybe it is menopause. I don't know, but I'm thinking that what she said on the reunion was not the full truth, in my opinion. I'm like, something else has to be happening, because your explanation of just treating people like crap this season, sober and drunk, your explanation is that she was going through a lot. She's just like, oh, I was going through a lot, and I'm waiting to hear what the lot is. And it's just like, oh, everything with Bluestone Manor. Really? Those rich people problems made you drag Luann like that when she was defending you? Something else is going on. Thank you. Thank you. Dorinda constantly hits below the belt. I think that Leah knows that, but I think because Dorinda was her constant friend throughout the season and always had her back, I think she just did not want to say anything negative about her. And I think instead of holding her accountable in front of everybody, she just decided to support somebody who supported her. I get it, but Dorinda's behavior was really poor. Even if you're friends or not, there's a way to say it without tearing her down. But to not acknowledge that behavior because she's been nice to you, I could that didn't sit right with me. Salt Lake is going to be lit. I can't wait for it. I cannot wait. Wow, I hope Leah did not mess up this bag because this is the thing. Leah is negotiating if the rumor is true, Marianne. If Leah is negotiating back and forth with the network for another season and she walked away because she doesn't like what they offered her, I think it's a really stupid thing to do, right? Because if you're a newbie, right? And if they are centering a show around you, you're definitely getting more than what you made last season. But they also are going to they're going to give you a bonus, but they're not going to give you the same paycheck that you would get if you were on the show for 10 seasons. They first have to see if this new Real Housewives of New York is successful. So why are they giving you all this money and they don't know if it's going to work? That's what happened with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. They gave Denise like $3 million for, I don't think she even got the 3 million now. I think she got 3 million for like 2 seasons or something like that right off the bat because it's Denise Richards and everybody was excited about her. But unfortunately, not because she's a bad person, but Denise just didn't perform the way that these shows need you to perform. And it was essentially a bad investment. So I think Leah, if she's going back and forth, I think she just needs to accept what they give her after this last negotiation because, honey, you're not going to get another opportunity like this. They're going to create a whole show around you. Take the money. If it's a successful season, negotiate. That's what you do every season. But right now, ma'am, you're about to mess up a really important bag. If I was Leah, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. Make sure you give your girl some likes, guys. Yeah, Dorinda, I could normally handle her, shadiness, but this was beyond toxic. This was messy. Oh, well, who said that? Langston said they resolved the salary dispute. Good. Good. I hope she does come back. This would be really dumb of her to walk away from that. Oh, she's getting 10,000 an episode. That's not bad. Second season. That is not bad for a second season, honey. Yes. They need to do a super summer house with the OGs. Oh, thank you, Shanna. I don't know if it's Shayna or Shanna. You can correct me. I'm fine with that. Jay Nice, Geriatric Bad Girls Club sounds like something I would watch, okay? We all grew up on Golden Girls. That was prime time TV. We all watched it. We still watch it today. Any Golden Girls episode comes up, I can quote it word for word. Like that show was perfect. So I know this Geriatric Bad Girls Club is going to be just what the doctor ordered. Marianne says she doesn't think that Ramona is as tight as she used to be with Andy. I think because Ramona's politics has really gotten in the way of the show and the way of this and in the way of the success of the show. She's been a turnoff to a lot of people for a really long time, and I think at this point he's just really sick of her antics. Oh, thank you, Alini. I'm telling you, I will watch like a super summer house with the OGs. Langston. Okay, Langston, give us the tea. So Ramona is coming back? Wow. I would love to see Bethany on a season with Leah. I think it would either be really good or really bad. I think they would either be best friends or I think they would burn that show down. Either way, good TV. Good TV. Yeah, it's definitely rich people problems with Dorinda. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just not buying it. I can't, or I don't want to believe that she was that horrible to people this season because her manner flooded. I don't want to believe it. Hey, Cammy. Oh yes, Teresa. Yes. So Vicky Govelson. Do we want Tamara Barney? I don't know. That son. That son. See, that son. It taints her image. Well, her image is already, not really up there. But it's just that son. I just we don't need Bravo anywhere connected to that because he gives me mass shooter, and I just think they need to get as far away from that family as they can. So Vicky Sans Tamara, of course, Teresa Giudice, of course, Nene, of course, Bethany. I will do Bethany and Luann. The Countess would be good. I'm telling you guys, outside of the show and the antics that they show, the Countess is somebody who will really work good in like a super summer house housewives dynamic. I think she would be really good. I think she would most certainly probably not be the leader, but I think she would be the one like she is on the show, wrangling the girls and getting them together. I think that would be her. What? Wait, Marianne, what are you talking about? What was that story about Heather? That thing about Richie Sambora? Oh, I don't know. Richie Sambora, is he alive? Is Richie Sambora still with us? Let me know in the comment section. Ashana. So your first pronunciation is not Shane, not Shayna was right. Ashana, not Shayna. Okay. Oh, thank you, Shauna. Thank you. Thank you, Ashana. Thank you. Hey, AA. Oh, thank you so much for joining me. I'll be doing Love After Lockup live tomorrow at I believe 7:30 PST. So that's 10:30 EST. Oh, he's alive, Links. Oh, I just realized. What you saying? I'm thinking of La Bamba. Didn't he play La Bamba? That's who I'm thinking of. I think that's who I'm thinking of. Another, movie, like a TV show. I think it was a TV. No, it was a movie. That's another thing I should not have been watching as a kid. Like, why was I watching that? I was so traumatized by that. Hey, Politipugs, thank you for joining me again. You have been so dedicated to these lives, and I appreciate the support. Yes, don't forget to hit thumbs up. Hey, Olini from Belize, what's up? Thank you, guys. Well, since enough of us are here, let's get into what I wanted to talk about so far. So always the last episode of the reunion is not really that interesting. They don't really tell you anything. I think the meat and the bones, the meat and the bones, right? Yeah, the meat and the bones of the reunion is really the second episode because Bravo knows that everybody falls off after the third episode. I don't think I've watched the third episode of any reunion in 5 years. I think I watched the first, I watched the second, and then I never come back for the third because it's just never interesting. These reunions never have to be 3 episodes. They really just need to be 2 hours after the finale. That's all we really need. But again, this is an advertiser's crutch for Bravo. They're just trying to get money, and that's all this is. This is a money grab. It's not a necessity because they really didn't say much here. I will talk about something that's not even on the show, but Leah got a nose job. She got a nose job, and I was just like, why? Again, that's not my body, not my business. But I'm like, what could Leah possibly do to her nose? I was looking at it in the throwbacks, and I'm like, even at the reunion, I'm like, what could you possibly do to your nose? I felt like her nose fit perfectly for her face. I just hope she doesn't come back into her season serving brat style, because that is the only look that these plastic surgeons know how to do today. For some reason, back in the day, plastic surgeons were giving people, believable work. Today, it's all brat style. That's it. It's the same nose, the same cheeks, the same fillers, the same lips. Like everybody is looking embalmed. Nobody looks natural anymore. I really hope that her mother, you know how her mother feels about all her procedures. I really hope she did not mess up that beautiful nose. There was something wrong with her nose. But again, not my body, not my business. Do what you want to do with your check, girl. But I hope it's not a botched. Oh, thank you, AA. Thank you, Danielle. Wait. Okay, is Richie Sambora wait. Am I thinking about Lou Diamond Phillips? Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about Lou Diamond Phillips. We're talking about the wrong guy. But I heard something about Denise Richards taking Richie from. Oh yes, I remember that. I remember that, Marianne. I remember. Okay, first of all, we were talking about two different people. I'm thinking you're talking about Heather from the Real Housewives of New York, who I want to come back next season. And I thought that you were talking about Lou Diamond Phillips, who played La Bamba. Why was I thinking about Richie Sambora? What is La Bamba's real name? Why did I think that he was Lou Diamond Phillips? Anyway, I get what you're saying now, Marianne. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Unity. It's okay. It's late. I totally understand. I normally would do this the next day, but I'm working tomorrow, so I can't do it. I can only do it in the evening, but then after that, I can only do one live tomorrow because I got to get up early because I'm working again on Saturday. And Leah smelling. Yeah, see, that's the thing. Normally, the last episode of the reunion is just fun. Just good old girl fun and just reminiscing, about everything the good stuff that has happened because they got all the fights out. And now Andy is trying to wind it up and have them end on a good note. But I will say, I love how Andy is enamored with Sonia. Like, he just loves watching her, which is why if she doesn't come back next season, there's going to be a presence that is missed. She has so much energy on the show. And the good thing about Sonia in an ensemble is that she doesn't take things too seriously and she doesn't hold grudges. So you can always fix something with a Sonia. You need somebody like that. You will have people on the show who will keep the mess going, but a Sonia will always be there to lighten the mood or move forward in a relationship. She never holds on to anything, and that's what was good about her in this ensemble cast. So I hope if they don't bring her back this season, I hope that they put her on something because she's good TV and she's good for Bravo. So I wouldn't want them to get rid of Sonia. And I think she will always be available to work because she was not able to sell that townhouse. And I know that townhome in New York, in Manhattan. Okay. And I know that rent, I know that the taxes on that thing, especially in New York City, is hella expensive. So I know she's ready to let go of that thing. Yes, he's a guitarist in Bon Jovi. I do remember when Denise took Richie from Heather, but that was so long ago. Weren't they like in their 20s? I can't believe Lisa Rinna brought that up. Now you are letting me know that you really don't have anything against her. If you're trying to dog her out with stuff that happened like 30 years ago, that's how far you have to go back to get something on her. So this is why I stand with Denise. And I'm telling you guys, word on the street is that stunt that they pulled with Denise and trying to, get her out the paint, that stunt that they pulled really affected their recasting of next season. So I don't know if Erica or Rinna is coming back. I think that Kyle is most certainly coming back, especially if they're in negotiations with Kathy Hilton. But we may not see Rinna and we may not see Erica, and that's their own fault. Teddy did herself in. Erica did herself in. We know that they're not going to get rid of Garcelle because diversity. And Rinna did herself in deeply because now she's backtracking everything that she did and she's blaming it on the show. Okay. Okay. You mean to tell me that Andy made you do, oh, you're so angry. He made you do that to your friend of 20 years? Girl, that's on you. Kelsey, she sold it? I thought it was back on the market. I thought that she did sell it, but the seller backed out. That's the last thing I heard about it. But again, I haven't checked in a while. Yes, she's a great buffer. Super lighthearted and just fun. Yeah, that's very true. That was where they went way too low with Denise and it did not work out. Who did that on another season and it backfired? No, it was Beverly Hills. They did it with Vanderpump. I didn't drink all my soda juice. I can't believe I drank a whole thing of celery juice. Can you guys believe it? Forgive me, I'm anemic, so I'm going to try to eat this ice because that's my dinner. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you so much. Sorry, I'm trying to read all your stuff. You need to see, Ramona is good for the show, but I just think in this time, she can't go where the show was going. So, okay. I need to see what happens with this show closer to filming because Ramona said that she's coming back on Instagram. Okay, so if Ramona is coming back, then so is Sonia. And if Sonia is coming back, then so is Luann. And if Leah is coming back and they're already auditioning a new person within her friends group, who is getting the boot? Okay, Dorinda's gone. So who's coming back is Leah. So it's Leah, Ramona, maybe Sonia. Luann has to come back if they all come back. This is a weird group. And that sister. This is a weird group. I don't like it. If this is who's coming back, I don't like it. That's really weird to me because how is this sister gonna fit in this group? I feel like she would probably fit with a younger, hipper New York kind of crew, kind of cast. But this, I don't know. I don't know. But again, I like the ladies, so I would love for them to come back. That's what I was saying. If they don't bring them back, I wouldn't want them to get rid of them. I would want them to use them in another way. But if they're going to bring them back like this with this cat outside of Dorinda, I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it. That just doesn't look like a good cast to me. It seems weird. But again, I'm not in the casting session, so I don't know if it will work. Oh, Monique definitely did herself in from the Real Housewives of Potomac. Like the minute she put her hands on that woman, it was lights for her. I hope that she did the proper begging that she needed to do and fixed it with what's her name? Candace, because that's the only way they're gonna let her back on this show. Oh yeah, Tinsley left. That was a good cast. I told you my dream cast is Aviva, Heather, Carol, Luann, and Sonia, of course. I like Leah. And there's one more person we can bring back. Bethany. Bethany is good for this show. I think whatever she wants, they should give her. Yeah, I think that Lisa Rinna did way too much damage. I don't know. I don't know if she's coming back. Yeah, they're definitely trying to make the cast younger and more diverse. Candace says she has PTSD from the fight with Monique, did he? Yeah, Monique probably not coming back. Okay, because Candace is already working. She's already working on her speech. Yeah, she might not come. She might not come back. Kelsey, Bethany is definitely too heavy, but she produces a lot of scenes, and unfortunately, I know a lot of us don't like producing. Me either. I don't like producing when I can see it. But the good thing about Bethany is that the scenes that she produces, go viral. They're really good scenes. Like the whole mention it all of that. She's really good with the producing of this. Like she knows how this show should work. She's really good with that. Now her other, show ventures on Bravo did not work. And I think maybe because she works best in an ensemble cast with these particular women. I think that may be it because she's tried other shows and they just didn't work, but she worked so well with the Real Housewives of New York. And that's the thing. That's the problem, Langston. Monique is not apologetic. Yeah, I don't know if she's coming back. Yeah, yes. Ooh, you're so angry. Who does that to their friend of 20 years? Poor thing. Speaking of friendships of over 20 years, I can't believe that the Countess ruined her friendship with, ended her friendship with Barbara because of that season that they filmed. I watched it. I did not think that Barbara did anything wrong. If anything, Barbara was so loyal to the Countess. It's when the Countess started to attack Barbara, and she was finding comfort in the other women who were protecting her from the attacks of Countess. I'm just like, Luann, she bailed you out when you were spiraling, when you were telling everybody that all you was doing was drinking. And I remember watching that season and doing my reviews, and I was just like, this looks like something else, because you're drinking, right? If you're telling me that it's just alcohol, why are you guys trying to, get everything out of her name because she's selling everything for money? No shade, but that's like a crackish move. Like, you're giving all of your, like, you're selling things price, you're spending out of your kids' inheritance for liquor, for some Four Loko. Girl, bye. Something else was going on, and Bethany and Barbara really protected her, really bailed her out, really helped her pay her bills because she was dead broke. And because she found comfort in the, in the arms of the women that you brought her in, because you brought her into the show, you get rid of her. I would never, this little spat, I would never get rid of a friend like that, who helped me at my worst moments and covered me. And the only way that the world knew about that was because I told it. Barbara was a good friend of the Countess. I love the Countess, y'all know that, but I was very disappointed in her that she let that friendship go because she didn't like the fact that Barbara started making friends with the other women. Why would you bring her on the show? Like, it was very low down and it was very petty. The same thing with Ramona and Elise. You didn't like Elise because she wasn't loyal to you. Like, she even said it. I brought her on this show to have my back. You brought a spy. So you wanted her to go to she encouraged her to go to the events with the ladies just so she can get tea and have Elise bring it back to her so that she can be empowered throughout the season and after reunion and have all this stuff on the ladies. So, Elise could be under her arm. She brought her on the show for that reason. How is she the bad person in this situation? The lady shocked me because I would have been upset that you brought some spy on the show. Like, this wasn't really a friend that you thought would do well with the group. You brought her on because you thought that she would send back information from, like, hanging out with us. But none of the ladies, like, acknowledged it. They just moved on from it. And I was just like, okay, maybe you guys know Ramona enough to know that this is her antics. Vanderpump, Lisa Vanderpump definitely needs to come back. I don't think she will. Not with Kyle. Not with Kyle on that show. Y'all know that I love Lisa Rinna on the show. She got way too dark this season, and it wasn't something that I think any of us wanted to watch. This is the thing about Rinna. She doesn't know when to stop. She doesn't know when to stop. I'm like watching her the whole season, and I'm like, girl, it's enough. Denise is done. She's done. She's not getting back up. Why are you still like going after her? It was enough. Like, she obviously couldn't take it, but you're still going after this woman. She does not know when to stop. Yeah, Vanderpump would be good, but she's not going to do it. She is not going to do it. And you know what? I just said that, but I thought about it. I don't know if her shows are coming back. I don't know if Peacock is bringing back Vanderpump Dogs. I don't know if Vanderpump Rules is coming back. Because Stassi is out, and she's definitely out because after that interview with Tamron Hall, where she went on and did this whole interview with Tamron Hall about her, being racist. And then, like, after the interview, she started saying that she felt ambushed or whatever. Tamron doesn't play that, right? So Tamron, the next day, showed everybody the interview, showed everybody the behind the scenes, and then explained to the audience that she don't run her show like that. And she Stassi, so Stassi looked even worse than when she came on the show. So I think she is done in the Bravo, family at this point. They definitely cannot bring her back for anything. She just keeps on, digging a grave for herself that she doesn't have to dig. So I know, so we know that Stassi isn't coming back. Kristen isn't coming back right now because of COVID. The show is on hiatus. I think they opened up for outdoor dining, but I don't know what that is going to look like, because if they do start filming them serving people, the cast being in the restaurant won't match up because there's nothing to film inside because there's no guests, right? Everybody is outside, and then you can't have the main cast with the extras, because you can only have a certain amount of people on set. So how are you going to film atmosphere? It's going to look very weird. And then you have to continue to perpetuate this lie that they're all these broke waiters and bartenders. I don't think that show is coming back. I think if anything, they sad to say, they should scrap Vanderpump Rules, because there's really no way of salvaging it, especially after COVID. I think they need to scrap it, and I think they need to do like a Vanderpump Rules show and call it Tom Tom. That's the only way. I think the show has been tainted by all of the drama, and I think that they could really start afresh with a new like Vanderpump show and call it Tom Tom. And where it's all focused on Tom Tom and not Villa Blanca, because I really don't know if that's coming back, guys. First of all, that restaurant is prime real estate in Beverly Hills. That rent is expensive. There's no way that we can continue to go through this pandemic, and if we're not out within a few more months, I don't see Villa Blanca surviving. I don't see Lisa willingly pouring that money into a restaurant that is sitting there. I just don't see it. Oh, she's closed more restaurants, Jay? I did not know that. I knew that Villa Blanca was holding on by a wing and a prayer. Even her other restaurant, and even Pump makes bank. Pump used to always be packed any day of the week. Yeah, so she might come back to Beverly Hills. That'll be good. Lisa Vanderpump, Kathy Hilton, who else? Garcelle, who else? Cal. And Dorit. That's a good cast. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of Cal, but that's a good cast. And Cal couldn't run them games. Not with that cast. I know, Marianne. I found out today that she is still married to Jason. At this point, just work it out. Just work it out. It's cheaper to keep her. You know what? I never saw Candace's homophobic tweets, but I did hear about it, and I also heard that she apologized or something. Like I saw something in passing on Twitter. I didn't get into it because I only talk about that stuff when I'm watching the show. I didn't get into it, but I don't know if she was able to redeem herself. But I do think that the timing of those tweets coming out is right after Monique beat her up. Oh, secrets revealed for any Real Housewives show on Bravo is always better than the actual season. Like how we got that information that Dorinda was talking to John about him scamming. Like, why didn't we see that on the season? That was such an interesting scene. We got it in the trailer, but we didn't get it in the season. And listen, I get that they have to edit it a certain way to get a storyline, but they need to know, keep the juicy stuff in. You will figure out the storyline once we, get to the time of having to put the show up. Oh, see, I never read the tweets, Langston, so I don't really know. Well, I will say that, Marianne, Barbara did not fit that show, so I was not upset when she went. Same thing with Elise. Barbara and Elise do not fit this show, but I think that the Countess should have did her a lot better. I have not seen. I plan on watching it, Robin. But I have not seen the Paris Hilton documentary, and I'm surprised that nobody knew that she was faking that voice. I think I've been out in LA too long because everybody knows her real voice. First of all, real talk, Paris looks like Cal. Like you all know that she's wearing contacts and she bleaches her hair blonde. Like outside of all of that stuff, she looks just like Cal. I would love for Kim Richards to come back on the show, but she has way too many problems. But she's good. And listen, that season with her and Brandy, they were out of their minds. They were on so many drugs. It was a mess, but they were good TV. But, she's sober now, doing really healthy. But I think if she comes back on the show, she will probably have some issues. And I'd much rather her, live than entertain us. Lisa and Kathy aren't speaking at the moment, and Kathy and Kim are still friends. Wait a minute. Apparently, Lisa and Kathy aren't speaking at the moment, and Kathy and Kim are still friends with. Wait, Did you mean that? Did you mean that that Kathy and Kyle aren't speaking? Or which Kim are we talking about? Let me know, Drea Love and Life. Oh yes, that big word read that Elise gave Ramona. I was like, oh, what? Let me get a dictionary to understand this read. Oh, good, Drea. I'll look into it. It's on YouTube, right? I think I saw an advertisement for it on YouTube. I don't know if it's on. Let me know if you can still see or hear me, because they're saying my connection is messed up. Give me a thumbs up if you can still see and hear me. But yeah, after I do my auditions, I did my best. My best was good enough. And I, going about my business. I can't stress myself out with that, because you never know what they want. You never know what they want. And then if one person wants you and the other person who has the money doesn't, you're out. So I do my audition and I go on about my day. But thank you so much for asking. Oh, Vanderpump is friends with Kyle's sister. I think I'm in so many group chats. I think that, like I said, Kathy will be good for the show. Thank you guys. I would really enjoy watching Kathy on the show, but I don't know if Bravo can afford her, and two, I don't think she's messy. I really don't. So if you're going to get Kathy on there, who won't give us anything but wealth, which is fine, you're going to have to cast her in the midst of some messy people. Yeah, you know what? Andy was all over with that Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion, because I wanted him to, go deep into Denise's text that she had with Rinna. And, I wanted to go into that, but like Rinna denied it and Andy just moved on. And I'm just like, no, I want to see the text, because I think in those texts, we will see that Rinna was probably dragging everybody. Rinna gives me that she was very two-faced this season. I don't think she's two-faced as a person. Again, I think she is playing this character on the show, and I think she is playing all sides, because this is what she was hired to do. And so I think that's why she didn't want the text to show, because then you will, see that she dragged everybody on that cast. Because that's what she does. Thank you, Libra Soul. What else did I want to talk about from this episode? I feel like I talked about everything. Over again. Dorinda, she's good TV. I'm so disappointed that she does not take accountability for her poor actions. Like the fact that, like, Andy asked her about, the things that she said this season, and she deflected to Bluestone Manor and John. Okay, I'll give you that. Then he asked her about, how harsh she was on Luann. She did apologize for that, because I guess she saw it and she realized there's no way that I can talk myself out of that. I was terrible to Luann for no reason, and she was trying to protect me, right? So as I'm thinking that Dorinda is taking some accountability, she turns to Ramona and says, Ramona, you should have been there for me. I was going through so much, and I wanted you to take me out to dinner. You never called me anything. You never did anything. What does that have to do with you lashing out at everybody? What does that have to do with every time you guys went on a trip, you cussed people out, you snapped at them for no reason, then you deflected and said it was something that they were doing? What does it have to do with the fact that you harassed Tinsley the entire season and then dragged her after the season was over? And then when you saw her in person at the reunion, dragged her again and never fully apologized to her. What does Ramona not calling you have to do with any of that? Like, she just cannot take responsibility. For some reason, it is not built in her. She will not accept responsibility for her poor behavior. She will never acknowledge it. She will never make it right. She will never learn from it and move forward and be a better person. She will stay in this attack mode, and you just have to accept it because her basement flooded. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like, it bothers me so much, because I like Dorinda. I think she's so good on the show. When she was cast on the show, I was all for it, because I loved her spunk. I love her personality. She gave me New York City. I loved her style. I thought she was very fun to watch, sober and, drunk. Okay, she was good TV. but she just got really mean throughout the years, and just meaner and meaner and meaner, and never, like, even watching it back, never acknowledged it. I couldn't ride with her. I couldn't ride with her. Oh, I got this from DragCon in LA. This is Hey Queen, that show on I hope you can see it. It's a YouTube show here for, or is it a logo show? I think it's on here. It's a drag. It's a show where the host interviews a lot of drag queens and a lot of prominent people from the LGBTQ community. And they were selling these amazing fans. And I said, I have to have one. I was like, I have to have it. I had such a great time at DragCon. It's unfortunate that it'll never be the same, because that was such an interactive event. Like, you have to be like the whole experience is you interacting with other people, and it'll never be the same. So unfortunate. It will never be the same. I had such a great time. Yeah, it's some kind of force at Bluestone Manor. What is Legendary? No, I haven't, Robin. I haven't watched Legendary. Is that another documentary? Ciao. I told you guys, as soon as the industry opened up, my schedule said, oh, you have no more time to binge watch anything. There are so many shows that I was watching that's like sitting in my queue. I barely was able to finish Umbrella Academy. Now I gotta finish The Boys. There's so many freaking shows. I'm just like, Lord, I don't know when I'm going to have this time. I feel like I'm going to watch all of these shows during the holiday season. Yeah, DragCon is amazing. You know what? I used to not be able to pop a fan because I grew up on church fans. I think this fan is built for it. It's built for it. It's like, yeah, come on. Come on. Me too. Shauna. I do hope she's able to find her joy again, and I hope that she's back on the show, because this cast was really good together, and I think they really work because they all are really friends. It's not like acquaintances or I know this person. They all have been friends for 20 or so years because they all been dating and scamming the same men. Oh, it's on HBO Max. Okay. Oh, the ball competition. Yes. Oh, Ratchet. I started watching that too, Jay. They're building up. There's no way I can finish it right now. No way. Yeah, I poor Dorinda. I like her, but she doesn't take responsibility. But I will say this though, right? Ramona is messy, which is why if she comes back on the show, I'll be okay with it. Because she'll just give you a scene. She's not a likable person, but she will give you a scene, because when Dorinda was doing her fake crying, Ramona leaned over and opened the drawer. I'm thinking that Ramona is giving her some tissue to wipe her tears. She pulls out text messages out of a folder. She's like, I called you. Look here. I called you. And I'm like, but I will say she exposed Dorinda's fake tears, because as soon as Dorinda saw those text messages, the tears dried up automatically, like out of nowhere, and she immediately got back pissed again. I said, yeah, because you were faking it. But Ramona, listen, love her or hate her, good TV. This is a good cast. I hope so. I hope that Dorinda is better, because when we first met her, perfect. She was so sweet, so kind. We saw a little bit of Gangsta Dorinda when she had a little bit of liquor, but Gangsta Dorinda, we didn't see her again. As she stayed on the show, it just, the meanness just progressed and progressed and progressed. And I was just like, I can't ride with this. I can't. I will say this though. When they filmed this show, with a lot of these reality TV shows, when the ladies like do trips or film scenes together, there's no other entertainment, right? So a lot of times they're filming it at restaurants or some kind of event. But a lot of times when it's just the ladies, especially when they're on their trips, they are not allowed to watch TV. And the liquor is just always available because the show does not want to distract them. and they want to keep them, inebriated so they can get these little viral scenes of, Sonia cussing somebody out and then falling, off her chair, because that's good TV, right? They don't want them watching TV or talking to too many people. So they can, like, the ladies can use their phone, they can talk to people. However, if you're texting or if you are on the phone, the producer has to know so they can see your text messages and so that they can record your calls. So it's not like these trips or these meetups are just these fun little events and they are just filming their everyday lives. They're filming the scene or their lives or these trips. They're filming them with limitations. So that's probably another reason. Like when we first met Dorinda, she wasn't drinking a lot like that. But on this show where the liquor is flowing all the time, she probably picked up a little issue, a little problem. Oh, Kathy and Kyle are not speaking, but Vanderpump is tight with Kathy. You know what? That's rich people for you. Rich people will sue each other. They will, write people out of wills and trust funds. Like, rich people, family don't mean nothing to them. So I can definitely see Kathy talking to Vanderpump, but not her sister. Weird. Nashika Jordan, hey girl. She said, and do you think that Bethany really still wants to be back on the show since she can't seem to quit being attached to it some way, even though she says she will never come back? I don't think she can, right? Because let's be honest, without this show, there's no Bethany. Like, we wouldn't, like, she has a life, right? She's built a brand, very successful, but we would have never known her had it not been for the show. And even though Skinny Girl Cocktail, or that whole thing, even though that's really successful, the thing that you associate Bethany to the most is the Real Housewives of New York. It's not Skinny Girl Cocktail. Like, you think about that later, but the first thing you think about when you hear her name is the Real Housewives of New York. She did it. When she did it well. If I was her, especially somebody who's hawking products to people, I wouldn't leave the show. I would take breaks every now and again, but that would be my constant paycheck. I wouldn't leave a platform that I built. I wouldn't leave it, because with her career choice that she has picked outside of this show, you have to be your own HGTV. What better way than to do it on a show where they are paying you to advertise your brand? If I was her, I wouldn't leave. And now that she's still married to Jason, she still can't divorce that man. Baby, you need to check. Because listen, poor thing, Jason gonna get a nice chunk of change from that woman. And what did he do? Child, she better be glad she ain't married that man in LA. No, you don't need no lawyer. That's his. Oh no, they weren't married for 10 years. So he would get a nice chunk, but he wouldn't get half automatically. Yeah, they do. They do, Sammy. I agree. They do need to do a complete overhaul. The thing is, I don't think they will stop with the alcohol. I don't think they will. Yeah, I don't think they will, because a lot of the women on the show have tried to stop drinking. It's impossible on that show. They give them ladies so much liquor. It is astounding. Oh, wow. I got to watch this documentary. Marianne is giving me the tea about Paris Hilton. What? Marianne, you got to explain that. I think the text between Rena and Denise will show that something that has been, what? Living with Reno? No way. Marianne, explain that to me, girl, because I want that tea. I think that's some piping hot tea, but I can't read it. Dorinda used to serve Princess Diana. Yes, yes. And she just got out of her mind. I don't know what happened. She just got so mean. And you can't just put that on Bluestone Manor. Oh, good. I hope that guys, this show needs Bethany. I think it did great this season, right? But let's be real. Bethany would have turned it upside down. Oh, Filthy Rich on Fox? What? Oh, I know that show. That's another show that I'm piling up. I can't watch it. I just don't have the time. Yeah, Kim is acting. My mom loves it. Jay, I think a woman of color on that show on the Real Housewives of New York would do great because that's New York City. That's New York City. Like I totally understand this cast being all white because they are really friends. They're all friends. Unlike the other shows that are like fake and they put this cast together, these ladies are all friends. See, with the Real Housewives of New York, just like with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, no, the Real Housewives of New York, the Real Housewives of Atlanta, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, and the Real Housewives of Orange County. Those shows really work or used to really work because all of the ladies were really friends. The OGs, Nene, Phaedra, that lady who was a football player's husband. She's a pastor, football player's wife. She's a pastor now of a church now. Who's another one? Sheree. I know there was somebody else. Oh, the other girl who was married to another football player. They were all really friends, and they came into the casting together. Bravo put out a casting. Nene got all of her friends together that she thought would be good for the show, and they all went in and auditioned together. Same thing, like back in the day, Real Housewives of Orange County, the OGs of that season, they all went in and auditioned together because they are really friends. They all really do have history. Same thing with New York. This is the only yeah, this is the only part of the franchise where a lot of the OGs have lasted on this show. Because if you notice, like with the other shows, people are dropping off and it's like one OG and a bunch of new chicks, right? So New York really works because these women have really known each other for over 20 years. They really are friends. They really do hang out when the show isn't filming. So that's why this really works. I think if the show was going to go a different way, they just got to get rid of all the ladies because it's going to be really hard to bring somebody in to work with people who have a 20-year friendship. You're always going to feel like an outsider. I think Leah did well with holding her own, but they treat her like, Ramona's daughter. She doesn't really have equality in that group. And so I don't know. I think it'll work with a newer and more diverse cast on its own, or it'll work with just the OGs. Either way, I think the show will do well. But I don't think they can mix the cast. I just don't think I don't see that working. I do see a younger, diverse Real Housewives of New York cast working out very well because that's New York City. New York City is full of diverse movers and shakers. I think the Real Housewives of New York represented old New York. You know what I mean? Like old money, wealth, right? This New York, this new New York, this younger, more diverse New York is wealth, right? But is new money. You know what I mean? I think it's good to probably have like one or two people who are old money, but I think a lot of the main cast members will be new money, self-made women, and a lot of philanthropists and movers and shakers and artists and all of those things. It'll be younger, it'll be hip, it'll be diverse, it'll be New York. Like that's Lower East Side, you know what I mean? That's Tribeca, that's Harlem, that's Brooklyn. I think that part of New York would be front and center, and I think it'll be very interesting. I think it will be very interesting, but I don't think they can mix cast. I just don't see that working. Yeah, I am going to check out her podcast. I actually, I've been meaning to check out Rachel Lindsay's podcast as well. I think I'm going to go on a little podcast trip because a lot of you are telling me, Deshaun, yes, a lot of you are telling me about these podcasts and how good they are. I haven't, Crystal. I wanted to see. I probably put up a poll to see if you guys are interested in it because at first I did not plan on reviewing Lovecraft Country or County. I didn't plan on reviewing it because I was very confused. I'm gonna be honest with you. There was a lot going on. I couldn't keep up. I still can't keep up. But now I'm thinking about reviewing it so that I could, I'll maybe just do lives after the episode so that I can discuss with people who have read the source material and know what the hell is going on because I have no clue. I enjoy it though. I enjoy it, but I have no clue. I don't think that they cast Friends group anymore, Jazzy Go, because they don't want people being loyal to each other or linking up and finding or linking up and demanding higher pay. You know what I mean? So like when people have relationships, they will be able to, unionize against the show. And I think that they just don't want that. So they want to bring in individuals, people who are, they don't really have a relationship. They have these fake little put together casting relationships because that person is just loyal to themselves. They're not loyal to this coworker that they don't know. When you have a friends group like that, that's when people will link up and be like, oh, we need to change these working conditions. Oh, we need to all get paid more because we're doing this, we're doing this, we're doing that. That's when, when you've been friends for 20 years, that's when you start discussing what you negotiated with the network. So if Ramona talks to Countess and she's just like, oh yeah, well, I negotiated $50,000 an episode. And Countess is just like, oh, really? They told me that they couldn't do that. Now they had this conversation. So now Luann could talk to the network and be like, oh, you can give Ramona 50K, but you can't give me 50K. So now the network got to give Luann 50K. And then they have to start giving everybody 50K because the ladies are talking. The ladies are hanging out and the ladies are discussing. When you just hire strangers and give them some fake storyline, you won't have that issue. I think that's what has happened. But unfortunately, as we see now with the health of these shows, it didn't really work out for the network. Oh yeah, if there's a woman of color on that show, especially if there's a sister on that show, Ramona gonna get that work. Ramona gonna get cussed out every episode. Yeah, I wish they would cast Friends group, but the network has to protect themselves. Oh yes. Yes, Crystal, I love that because we all knew who everybody voted for. And I think that's what really changed Ramona's hold on the fan base. I think after that, everybody was just gunning for her. It's good. Lovecraft County is good. It really is good. I thought that, I can take all kinds of horror stuff. And, the first episode or so, I was just like, oh, this is a lot for me. But I was able to really get into the story. And my mom and my sister, who are not into horror stuff at all, they don't do it. They don't do horror. They don't do fantasy. They do comedy and maybe like a light drama, but that's about it. They're all about comedy and love stories. They don't do that stuff. They are obsessed with Lovecraft County. They enjoy it, even though all of us, we have no idea what's going on, but we all have a good time watching it. Yeah, they don't want the cast to link up together against the network. Yep, that's the thing. They do not want them talking, and these ladies are friends. They are going to talk. Yeah, you really do have to pay attention to that show. Oh, Southern Charm is coming back. Oh my, you know what, Jazzy? If Southern Charm is coming back and they're talking about white privilege, I might have to start watching that show again because that is going to be a bleep show. Let's just say that. Oh, HBO has a Lovecraft County podcast. I'll have to check that out because that may help me. I also follow the director. Her name escapes me, but I follow her on Twitter. And after every episode, she gives you a syllabus. Like she breaks everything down. So that really does help. But you got to go back and watch it. October 29th. Thank you, Jazzy Go. Would you guys be interested in me reviewing what's that show? Southern Charm? You know what's a show that's doing really good on the network that shocks the hell out of me? Below Deck. Below Deck is like the second highest rated show on Bravo right now. The first, it's the highest rated show right now because the Real Housewives of Atlanta is not on. But the Real Housewives of Atlanta, that's the highest rated show on the network. But Below Deck, all Below Decks, like regular Below Deck and then Below Deck Mediterranean. And I mean, I can't watch that show. Listen, they are the Lana Del Rey of reality TV shows. They give us nothing. Go ahead, girl. Give us nothing. I watched the show like, what is going on? The only interesting show to me was when this really rich guy from Long Island was on the boat and they were all the servants on the boat were like talking about this Long Island family or whatever that was on the boat because they just thought that they were trash, right? Turns out that the Long Island trash left them the biggest tip that they had ever had. And I don't know if he's still on the show, but that, he looks like Colonel Sanders with like straight. No, he looks like Kenny Rogers. The captain that looks like Kenny Rogers read them for filth. That was a good episode. I couldn't get into it after that. I was just like, oh, that intrigues me. And I tried to watch it again and I was just like, what? There was like that weird dude with the big butt who fell in love with the Mexican girl and he was confused about how he felt about her because he, had never been attracted to somebody like that before. And I was like, just say you've never been attracted to a dark person. Like he kept on saying, she's so different. I just never met a girl like that. Boy, your penis got hard for a dark-skinned chick. Just say it. It's okay. I tried to get into the show, but I really couldn't. But it's the second highest rated show on Bravo. Y'all watching Below Deck? I'll forgive you for that. Not if you watch Summer House. That show, nothing. There's nothing interesting about that cast. I'm going to miss Vanderpump Rules. Now that cast, they work for that check. I won't miss Jax though. I saw a picture of the baby. Yeah, that episode, that was the scariest one. I had to actually stop watching that episode for a minute because a lot of this stuff is based off of true events. They just magnify it for the show and add in their own little things. But a lot of this show a lot of the stories on Lovecraft come from like real events. Oh yeah, that's every day. You're right, Jean Grey. Oh wait, Southern Charm New Orleans. I can't get into Southern Charm New Orleans. The real Southern Charm, when that show first came on, that was good. That red-headed chick, she used to beat everybody up. And then her getting pregnant by Thomas twice. Who saw that coming? Now, if that's the show you're talking about, the show that's going to be talking about white privilege, that's the one I'll watch. New Orleans, I couldn't get into it. That's another show that I didn't feel like they were really friends. I felt like they just, found people, a diverse cast in New Orleans and was just like, we're doing a Southern Charm New Orleans. That I couldn't really connect with them. See, Libra, maybe I got to get back into Below Deck, but I was looking at the ratings and I was just like, Below Deck? Oh, with the Real Housewives of New York, they're bringing in more viewers? I was shocked. Oh, the original. I'm back. Now I watch Charleston. I told you why I stopped watching Charleston when they had that scene at that slave burial ground. And they were just having sweet tea. Sitting over top of dead bodies, dead black bodies, and just like, yeah, there's a whole slave family buried right there under that tree. I was like, okay, I can't get into this show. But if they're going to be addressing the elephant in the room, which is slavery, I'm watching. Yeah, that was a good show. I couldn't. I was just like, we cannot have this show and you guys not talk about slavery at all. Like it is like it's the foundation of the nation, and especially where you're located. Like if you're sitting over there having sweet tea in your backyard, that is a slave burial ground. We got to have that conversation. I'm sorry. Oh, really? Although they got a lot of stuff going on, I like Rena and Harry. I think I like them because they've been together all of my life, and I just know them together. Yeah. Oh, if their marriage is breaking up, that's really unfortunate. What time is it? Make sure you give your girl some likes. So, guys, it's getting late. Mama got to get up. You guys my East Coast people. Thank you. Thank you so much for chatting with me after the show. I'll be here again tomorrow night at 7:30. Check the reminder to see if that's correct. But I'll be here tomorrow at 7:30 Pacific Standard Time and 10:30 Eastern Standard Time for the Life After Lockup review. And then after that, I will see you late late Sunday night for Happily Ever After, the reunion review, because I was going to do that the next day, but I saw the trailer and I just feel like there's going to be so much to talk about. I can't wait. So if you can stay up, please. If not, just know I'm going to replay this again. And don't worry, I want to be doing more lives because, like I said, my schedule is just crazy. And I really like this format because while I'm doing it, I can interact with you guys. I can get tea. I can get some jokes, you know. So yeah, I like this format a bit better anyway. So I'm going to get out of here. Please join me tomorrow night for Life After Lockup for that live. And after that, I'll see you for something great. So thank you all for stopping by. Jay Nice Teddy got fired for being boring. Let's just tell the truth and shame the devil. She tried to make something up this season with the whole Denise drama, and it was still dry. It was still dry boots. She based her season off of taking somebody down, and she lost her check. Denise was asked to come back. Denise said no. Still kept her check. Work. Work. Thank you, guys. What you say about my husband? Bam! Let me get out of here. I love y'all. I'll see you soon. Thank you so much for staying up, and thank you all for the likes. I'll see you soon. Bye, family.